Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into Tools of Titans, a remarkable treasury of insights compiled by the acclaimed author and investor Tim Ferriss. This book is an anthology of wisdom, pulling together the routines, habits, and advice of the world's top performers. Ferriss, renowned for his best-selling book The 4-Hour Workweek and his influential podcast The Tim Ferriss Show, offers a panoramic view of the strategies and philosophies that have catapulted individuals to the pinnacle of success in various fields. Tools of Titans is a manual for anyone seeking to enhance their physical, mental, and professional well-being. It caters to fitness enthusiasts looking for transformative workout tactics, aspiring entrepreneurs yearning for motivational spark, and creative souls in pursuit of profound guidance. The book breaks down complex strategies into actionable steps that the reader can incorporate into their daily life. With anecdotal evidence from heavy hitters like Arnold Schwarzenegger and successful creators such as Seth Rogen, who commend Ferriss for extracting pearl after pearl of practical knowledge, this book is a gateway to mastering the art of high performance. Join us as we summarize the key lessons from Tools of Titans, whether you're aiming to optimize your morning routine, fine-tune your business acumen, or simply absorb the distilled essence of extraordinary achievement. This is your quick guide to being stronger, smarter, and more creative, as inspired by titans of industry and innovation. Tools of Titans, the tactics, routines, and habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performers. Introduction. Unlock the secrets of icons, health, wealth, and wisdom at your fingertips. Welcome to a world where the geniuses of health, the moguls of wealth, and the sages of wisdom gather to share their most powerful insights. Through his renowned podcast, The Tim Ferriss Show, Tim Ferriss has distilled life-altering wisdom from achievers who have reached the zenith of success in their fields. This journey into the minds of exceptional individuals brings you lessons that span from physical endurance to financial acumen and transcendental knowledge. As we delve into their shared experiences, you will uncover why embracing the shock of ice-cold water for mere minutes can revitalize your entire being, the paradox that sometimes enduring a soul-crushing job can be the best stepping stone to career excellence, and the revelation that the creative spark in comedy sensations like Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg was fueled by a period devoid of romance. Part 1. Extreme athletes offer game-changing health hacks. Visualize scaling walls, swimming through muddy water, and leaping over flames. This isn't a scene from an action movie. It's obstacle course racing, and Amelia Boone, a titan in this grueling sport, knows all too well what it takes to come out on top. Picture Boone as she navigates a 90-mile course, braving nearly 300 obstacles. It's not for the faint of heart, and her road to recovery is equally hardcore. Before she takes on the world, she swears by a blend of beetroot powder and hydrolyzed gelatin, her go-to concoction for rejuvenating stressed connective tissues. And a simple golf ball isn't just for putting greens. Boone uses it to roll under her feet, stimulating her hamstrings, fortifying her strength, and keeping her posture in check. But let's turn the temperature down with Wim Hof, famously known as the Iceman. This man doesn't just walk on the icy edges, he shatters records on them. From high-altitude shorts-clad Everest escapades to ice baths that would send shivers down anyone's spine, Hof's routines are not just for thrill seekers. They're potent health interventions. They're in the same vein as what surfing legend Laird Hamilton and life coach Tony Robbins use to boost immune systems, slash pounds, and send depression packing with their own brand of cold therapy. Of course, we don't have to sprint across frozen lakes or summit snow-capped peaks to tap into the power of the cold. Hof's radical retinal freeze notwithstanding, anyone can start small, perhaps with a final cold burst at the end of your shower, a half to full minute to reinvigorate both body and mind. Part 2. Personal health is a journey, not a one-size-fits-all prescription. It's tempting to seek out an easy prescription for good health. Eat less of this, more of that, and voila. But Dr. Justin Major, the health maestro guiding Olympians and corporate giants alike, including CrossFit aficionado Kelly Starrett, advocates for a more nuanced approach. He's observed that people's bodies react uniquely to the same factors. For example, while one person's trim figure might thrive on a low cholesterol diet, another's might blossom with higher cholesterol, building muscle and body mass like it's going out of style. What this suggests is that the path to health isn't a rigid formula, but a personal experiment. In an age where abstaining seems to be the golden rule, ditch the steak, swear off wine, say no to sweets. Thinking outside the dietary box can be enlightening. Enter James Fadiman, a scholar of psychedelics who champions a trial-and-error philosophy towards well-being. Consider Tim Ferriss's acquaintance, Slim Ferriss, a man who isn't shy about his microdosing routine, taking minuscule amounts of psychedelics like ibogaine hydrochloride, a compound hailing from the mystical shrubs of the rainforest. Twice a week, he embarks on this journey, believing it enhances his empathy and expands his mind. And twice a year he plunges even deeper, venturing into the spiritual embrace of ayahuasca, the Amazonian plant known for its profound visions and revelations of universal interconnectedness. However, let's be crystal clear. Embarking on psychedelic voyages isn't mainstream medical advice and certainly not for the unguided. The takeaway here is about embracing an open, individualized approach to health and well-being, experimenting to find what truly brings you vitality. Now that we've explored the fluid mosaic of health, let's pivot to another coveted treasure, wealth. Part 3. The toughest jobs can be the best motivation for success. We often hear that perseverance is key to success, yet nothing lights a fire under you quite like toiling in a truly challenging job. Take, for example, Chris Sacca, a venture investor in the tech metropolis of Silicon Valley. In his youth, his summers were lessons in contrasts, ingeniously crafted by his parents. Imagine the life of young Chris. The first half of his summertime was spent rubbing elbows with political influencers in Washington, D.C., learning the fine art of persuasion. Yet in the second half, he was plunged into the world of septic tanks, muck, stench, and all. Chris experienced firsthand the stark disparity between the lives of the powerful and those in the dirtiest trenches. Experiencing both worlds is vital. If you've got a vision of yourself steering boardroom discussions rather than scrubbing tanks, then you've got a blueprint of where you need to go. Chris Sacca's story emphasizes that those first steps toward our aspirations are crucial, and more often than not, they're far from glamorous. As we traverse this uneven path, we can also draw wisdom from Seth Godin, a sage in the publishing domain. He counsels the practice of tallying up wins, no matter how small. Our minds have a knack for dwelling on the mishaps, that promotion that slipped away, love stories that shattered, or even the annoyance of walking without an umbrella in a downpour. Dwelling on such missteps can leave us feeling downcast. Reorienting our focus to celebrate each time we were successful or courageous, however minor it may seem, can shift the tide in our minds. This conscious effort fosters a positive self-image and bolsters our spirits, igniting the drive to reach for the stars. Part 4. Embrace systems for sustainable success, not just short-term achievements. Picture Dilbert, the quintessential office drone, whose misadventures fill the frames of Scott Adams's world-famous comic strip. Despite his persona, Dilbert stands as a beacon of success. Success that Adams attributes not to fleeting goals, but to the steadfast commitment to systems. Now, let's unravel what it truly means to focus on systems rather than goals. It's about undertaking endeavors that might, on the surface, seem destined to crumble, like a photography study of decomposing foliage. To the casual observer, such a project might look aimless, possibly ending without fanfare or financial gain. But it's the underlying skill honed during this process, the artistry and technique refined, that becomes invaluable, waiting to be unveiled on larger stages. Society often lionizes immediate goals: launch a hit product, brand it, sell it, and repeat. But this narrow view overlooks the grand tapestry of long-term skill development. People can prematurely abandon their pursuits because the quick win eludes them, retreating to the familiar lull of everyday work. Instead, forging ahead with a broader vision in mind is key. Forget about the specifics. Focus on crafting a skill, nurturing a relationship, or building knowledge. Let's take Scott Adams as an example. He started blogging with no immediate payoff in sight. It was additional effort with no guaranteed financial return. But here lies the brilliance of his approach. Blogging wasn't about hitting a goal, it was about evolving from aspiring to accomplished and building an online audience. Committing to this system was an investment, one that eventually bore fruit as Adams emerged as a prolific best-selling author, though this apex was reached only after many years of steadfast dedication to his craft. Part 5. To reach the pinnacle of success, deflect peer pressure and dare to take risks. Picture yourself at the crossroads of conformity and bold decision-making. This is where true success is often crafted. Wealth and recognition don't cozy up to those who easily buckle under peer pressure. Olympic snowboarder Shaun White's story is a testament to this. Imagine young Shaun at 15, surrounded by older, more experienced athletes. As they indulged in pre-competition revelry, White stood apart, focused on the contest ahead. Where others saw an opportunity for frivolity and shared winnings, White saw his chance to soar. Amidst mockery, he stayed his course, clinched the title and the $50,000 prize, and set off on a trajectory towards becoming one of America's most endorsed athletes. Entrepreneurial spirits similarly thrive on risk. Peter Diamandis, orchestrator of the X Prize, knows well the dance with daring gambles. When raising funds for a $10 million space exploration incentive, he hit a wall at half the amount. While most would see an impasse, Diamandis saw a sliver of chance. With an audacious investment in a grand fundraiser, he charmed the sponsors, and his leap of faith blossomed into a robust fund, one that would change the face of private space travel when awarded in 2004. Money isn't everything, of course. True wisdom is the partner to wealth in this dance of life. Let's venture forth to explore how wisdom intertwines with the threads of affluence. Part 6. Laughter and Levity. The unexpected muses of creative wisdom. Say goodbye to the solemn meditations on creativity. It's time to meet Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg. These masterminds turn comedy into a vehicle of insight, proving that wisdom doesn't always wear a serious face. Their comedic touch pushes against the bounds of social norms, weaving tales of sexual escapades with a side of wit. Take their breakthrough hit, Superbad, a 2007 coming-of-age story that captures the teen angst and libido-driven adventures of two high schoolers. Fast forward to 2016, and their audacious humor strikes again with Sausage Party, an animated frolic through a world where food items possess a salacious zest for life. From these two, we learn three key ingredients for creativity. Firstly, the power of personal experience. For Rogen and Goldberg, their early artistic ventures were fueled by their own burning curiosities about sex, which led to the birth of Superbad. Drawing from the well of personal truths, they struck a chord with audiences everywhere. The second lesson comes from their mentor, the celebrated Judd Apatow. He advised them to defy the macho cliché of emotional detachment. Instead, he preached the gospel of raw feeling, the notion that tapping into one's own emotional reservoirs enhances communication and enriches storytelling. A wounded character is often a memorable one, carrying a relatable humanity that resonates with viewers. And the third, perhaps more controversial recipe for their creativity, comes in the form of marijuana. Rogen and Goldberg admit to a finely tuned appreciation for cannabis, selecting specific strains to accompany different stages of their creative process. Jack Herer, a strain named after the cannabis rights activist, is their muse when the time comes to write and create. Through this unconventional trinity, lived experiences, emotional vulnerability, and a touch of cannabis, they have carved out their spot in the firmament of comic geniuses, demonstrating that wisdom can indeed wear a mischievous grin. Part 7. Infuse your creativity with life's adventures and embrace the growth in discomfort. Imagine coming back from a vacation, not just refreshed, but invigorated with a newfound zest for work. This phenomenon isn't just a trick of relaxation, it's the consequence of being immersed in new experiences that spark creativity. The secret to a creative life is precisely that, living it to the fullest. Consider Whitney Cummings, the comedic force behind the TV hit Two Broke Girls. Her battle with self-doubt and procrastination once convinced her that self-deprecatory humor was her only forte. However, when she started investing in her personal life, breaking from the relentless grind, her comedy transcended to new heights, becoming more vibrant and diverse. But creativity doesn't just bask in the light of new experiences, it also embraces the darkness of fear and the challenge of discomfort. Sociologist Brené Brown challenges the myth that bravery and fear are mutually exclusive. According to her, the essence of courage is acknowledging and facing fear head-on, even if it's intertwined with vulnerability. When confronting issues like race, prejudice, or climate change, comfort isn't an option. Tackling these subjects demands stepping into the shoes of others and engaging with different perspectives. For Brown, demonstrating vulnerability was both a personal and professional milestone, which she showcased to millions during her TED Talk about her own breakdown and spiritual rebirth. So how do you measure growth? Look no further than your comfort zone's boundaries. If you're edging beyond them, you're on the right track. Each day, if you find yourself in the throes of discomfort, take it as a sign that you are evolving, that your creative spirit is flourishing. Final summary. Embrace this truth. Success is not a one-size-fits-all blueprint. In the eclectic tapestry of human experience, each individual carves a distinct path to their personal summit. Gathering wisdom from pioneers who have blazed trails before us can illuminate our own way forward. Their triumphs and trials offer a treasure trove of lessons to inspire us, steer us towards the right paths, and instill the tenacity required to persevere through thick and thin. Your journey may differ, but the shared insights of these accomplished figures can be your compass to navigate the vast landscape of achievement. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.